All right, so it is a beautiful morning here in Pennsylvania. And today we're going to be working on some honey locust, or maybe they're black locust seedlings that I've been growing from seed. So let's go inside and go take a look at them. All right, so I've been growing these black locust trees since I believe it was November 2023 is when I started to germinate them. And last year, 2024, I just let them grow like crazy. You can see they're just starting to wake up. So I want to do a repot on these, but before I do that, let's actually jump back in time and take a look at these from when I first started to germinate them in late 2023. All right, so today we have these black locust seed pods that I found when me and my son were at a park not too long ago. I saw these on the ground, I picked them up and decided, let's try to grow some. So yeah, I'm going to take the seeds out of the pods here and put them on a paper towel. So from what I understand, after you take these out of their pods, a way to actually germinate them is to actually put these in a container, boil some water, and pour that boiled water over top of them. Apparently this will loosen the hard outer shell and allow them to begin to germinate. All right, here we go with the water. Alrighty, there you go. Okay, so now we let them sit in the water for about a day, and then we'll put them in a zippy bag with a wet paper towel and see what happens. All right, here we are about 4 days later on November 11th, 2023. And I took a peek at this bag earlier today and wanted to show what is going on in here. So if you look here, we have some little baby roots popping out here. So that method worked, and let's get these in some soil. All right, so we have this pot here that I'm going to put the seeds in. And first off, I'm going to get a drainage screen all sized up for the pot. The drainage screen will stop the roots from popping out of the bottom. Okay, that'll do. Now let's toss some freshly mixed up bonsai soil in there. And as always, my mix is 40% perlite, 40% calcined clay, and 20% orchid bark. All right, now let's toss these little guys in the soil. Okay, that will do. All right, so next up I'm going to water this pot, and I'll put it in a nicely lit area and let them grow. So yeah. Now we're on November 14th, 2023, and look at that. It is already starting to pop out of the soil. So I can say this is pretty successful. All right, so it is November 24th now, and as you can see, we now have 6 little black locusts in there because almost all of my seedlings now germinated. And as they were going in, I just threw them in the soil here, and I'm pretty dang happy. So these things germinate super easily. I would say the method of pouring the boiling water in a bowl over top of the seeds worked pretty well. Every single one of the black locust seeds sprouted out a root, and I tossed it in here. Now whether they pop out of the soil, we shall see, but either way, this is a pretty successful way of germinating these things. So I am anxious to see how they'll grow in the future. So there we go. All right. All right, and we are back in present spring 2025, and I think it's time for us to take these black locusts out of the pot. So it feels pretty compact, so I'm guessing there's a decent amount of roots. Before I do that, let's just see how many we have in here. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's a little iffy. I don't think this guy. So let's just see. This guy alive? I don't think so. I don't think this guy's alive. Yeah, he's dead. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so let's take these things out of the pot. So we have a little bit of roots down here. Whoa, that's a thick root. Empty. Wow. This one has definitely took over as the leader. Wow. Yeah, let's work away at this, and we'll come back when they're all separated. All right, it looks like we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black locusts out of the soil. So I'm gonna clean all this up, and we'll be right back. All right, and we are back, and we have our nice clean root systems here. Yeah, there's a little bit of perlite on here, but it's not too bad. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5 of all of our black locust seedlings. So I'm going to work on the smaller ones first, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot to these since they are so small. Let's do one at a time. Let's do the second biggest one here. So taking a look at this, we have this root right here that crosses over, and I wonder if we can just maneuver this over to the other side. No, I don't think it's salvageable. Let's get rid of this one here. And I'm just going to trim these back a little bit. This one's going a weird direction. And somewhere like that. So not a whole lot of pruning on these. So this one is set. Set that to the side. Next up, we have this little guy. I'm not even 100% sure if this guy's alive, so I'm just gonna leave it be. This one, I'm just gonna let it go for the year. It's not too crazy. And probably same with this one. I'm not even gonna touch it. Let it do, I'll let it, actually I do see one thing. I see that we have some roots. Oh, right there, I just ripped it right off. Just wanna lower the root base down a little bit. So I'll get rid of some of these little guys. Do you wanna do anything like that here? Actually, I do wanna do that. I'm just going to make the root base around right here on this guy. So we'll get rid of some of these little bits of root that are sticking up. There we go. That is better. Looks okay. Maybe I will get rid of this long bit. I say I'm not going to do root pruning, and then I do. And now, so we have those 4 set. Now we have this big one. So first things first, getting rid of some of these really long roots here. That's the first step. And we got this right here. A part of me wants to take like half of this taproot off. I don't know if I want to do the whole thing today. Yeah, I might do about half of it. So let's take that off. Take it off about here. There it goes. Maybe we'll put this in the ground. Maybe it'll be a little root cutting. So we'll try that as well. I'll just trim that up a little bit. And we'll see if these things take for root cuttings. There we go. We'll try this one out. See if it'll take. All right, maybe we'll bring the root base down a little bit here. Snip some of these top roots off. And the rest of these, I'm just going to trim back a little bit. Nothing extremely crazy. These are a bit ugly, but I want this thing to live, so I'm not gonna go super nuts. Could I do more? Yes, but I'm not going to. So next up, I think I'm gonna jump into a time lapse and pot all these things up. So let's do it. All right, I think we got all these potted up. So you can see I reused the same pot that this bigger one was in, and then have some microwavable dish containers here that have lots of drainage, and then some regular little pots here, and then a sour cream container there. So these are just starter trees, so I'm not going crazy with any type of pots here. So okay, so let's get some water on these things. Everything seems to be draining just fine. Awesome. All right, and for this section here, I think I want to cut this down because obviously it's super long. And from what I understand, anytime that you see a thorn right here, anytime there's a thorn, that means that there is a dormant bud, from what I understand. And I don't see any more thorns from when you go down, any more thorns down here. So I think a safe bet would be to take it off right about, let's say right here. All right, there it is. Now, would I like to go lower than that? Absolutely. I'd love to take it down to somewhere here. And if any of you out there think it's safe to cut it down to like somewhere around here or even here, let me know. But I don't really want to take the chance, and it's still a young tree, so you never know. Yeah, so we'll let these grow. I was debating cutting this back too, but we'll just let them grow. So yeah, decent amount cut off on that one there. So yeah, we'll come back to these black locusts in hopefully a couple months and see how they're doing. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.